And we are live. Perfect. All right, so we were talking Jim Sharp this week. Um, so let's
Jim
kind of
Sharp.
let's see. Actually, that's not the is this the right one? Let's see. I'm just make sure I have the questions pulled up here. Let's see. That's the is it the discussion?
All right, I'm ready. Let's
All
do
right, so let's
this.
go ahead and I guess we'll start with normal with a prayer. Anyone
I'll,
offer the prayer?
yeah, I'll say it.
All right, perfect.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day that we've been given, and we're thankful for this opportunity to come together as classmates to learn from this case study and the business venture that Jim Sharp um, went through, and we pray that we can learn from it and apply it to our own careers, and we're thankful for all that we have, and these things we say in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. All right. I'll go ahead and talk about something I've been thinking about. Obviously, I had my little son over here. He's feeding right now. Just an absolute miracle that it was. I'll kind of talk a little bit about it. So Tuesday morning, my wife went in for a doctor's appointment, and she had her fluids checked, and everything was fine. Everything was looking good. They set up actually an induction date for the first for today, um, which was still it was still a little over, but she was looking good. And then they're like, okay, well, and she was supposed to go back in Friday to go have one more check. The actually for the long weekend the ultrasound technician wasn't going to be there, so they're like, okay, well let's go ahead and change your appointment. Can you come in either Tuesday or Thursday, or Wednesday or Thursday? It's like, well, I'll go in on Thursday or on Wednesday. She goes in, they start looking at her. The baby has no amniotic fluid anymore, and they have to rush her to the hospital. She comes, picks me up. We go to the hospital, and 2.5 hours later, we have the baby. Come to find out, if you guys, hopefully you guys don't ever have to go through this. My wife had what was overnight what's called preeclampsia, which
Yeah,
generally
my
shows
sister had
throughout
it.
a which generally shows all the way throughout a pregnancy, but hers didn't show up until last Wednesday, and so for some odd reason her appointment got changed. That if it hadn't been changed to that Wednesday, she we probably would have lost the baby. In all honesty, just because there's
Wow.
no fluid. When they pulled him out, because they had to do an emergency C-section, when they pulled him out, there was no fluid. The cord was wrapped around his neck 3 times and knotted, and so it was a really scary situation. But through the miracles of God, we were able to have our little baby here.
Wow, that's incredible.
That was kind of my Wednesday and last week.
Yeah.
But he's looking good. Got circumcised today, so he's not too happy.
Poor boy.
Oh man, you guys have no idea. If you've ever watched the circumcision, that's rough. Like I watched them pull him out from the incision they made in the C-section on my wife, and the circumcision was almost worse.
Oh
Like,
man.
that was bad.
Wow. Well, I'm glad everything's okay. How's your wife doing? I know there's a bit of a recovery from C-sections.
She's actually been killing it. She's doing great.
She's already
She's
running outside, running miles.
not running
I'm
miles, but
just
no, she's
kidding.
definitely. We actually went out to the golf course yesterday, so we were all kind of hanging out there. So
Cool.
everyone's doing good.
What'd you name your boy?
Aaron,
Aaron.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Well, when he's done feeding, you'll have to show him to us.
yeah. We'll go ahead and show him off here when he's done.
Yeah.
Um, let's go ahead and
Cool.
get into this. So it says, um,
Is Philip still there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, it's kind of working on something.
No,
you're
you're
good.
good. You're good.
So it says, access this venture from Jim's perspective. Um, how has Jim per- how has Jim's purchased how has Jim purchased this venture? I think he did it a lot in the dark. He didn't know what margins were. He didn't know what a lot of things were before he went through and bought this company. That was kind of one of the things I read that kind of was a little bit scary on his end. That this that didn't sound like the boss had the previous owner. I don't think he had a very good handle on what was going on with his own company.
I want to know his reasons for not letting Jim talk to employees, any employees, or even customers. That was odd.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right?
Yeah, he did this a lot in the dark, and I don't know, like, granted the fact it's his first kind of takeover, but, I don't think he did a very good job in, like, he prepared as much as he could, but I think he needed to have gone in a little bit deeper into what he could have looked at.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the finance side of how he purchased, because that's kind of how when I read the question, I was thinking finances, but I like how you guys were thinking, like the knowledge he had prior to purchasing. But the finances looks like he was able to keep 100% equity by just using bank loans,
Hmm.
like lines of credit. From what I understand, he didn't involve
Any venture capitalists or
capitalists or
anything,
anything. Yeah, exactly.
he was able to keep it all under himself.
And
But
did
yeah,
you guys read the story about or the part where he was like he offered 1.7 million and then walked away?
Yeah, and the guy
And it
got
was
sick.
like, yeah, the guy got sick because he thought he lost the deal, but then Jim was just trying to hardball him, and then Jim ends up turning around and calling him back. And the guy they settled for 2 million just because he was able to like modify the payment
hmm
and I guess just the logistics of it and all the terms.
Yeah, he
That's
had
the
to like
word.
end up paying health insurance or something for the owner, right?
Yeah, I think he did something like that, and then
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, I was able to take care of him.
I think like going into that, I think he should have used that as kind of leverage to say, all right, I'm willing to come to your level of 2 million if you give me more information because
yeah.
let me talk to your customers. Let me
Yeah,
get more.
Let me look at balance sheets. Let me look at
Yeah,
income statements. Let me look at cash flow. Let me look at because you never know if you're not looking at that kind of thing, seeing ratios, seeing where money's going. You could end up putting yourself into a really scary and risky situation.
yeah. That happened to my brother's parent-in-laws. They bought a restaurant and like the guys totally like they let them see their like
P&Ls.
cash flow and bank statements for like the past for the past X amount of years, but they kind of rigged those ones. If they would have looked further, they would have seen that it was really sketchy and
Who'd this happen
stupid.
to?
This was my brother's
In-laws.
father-in-law.
Oof.
Oh, so he went and bought a restaurant, but
Yeah,
the property and
like
loss
in the
statements of
restaurant,
this
people are
showing.
like, "Oh yeah, we have great profit margins and high foot traffic or whatever. Lots of people come every day or whatever." And like they started and like this place sucks.
This is a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was really sketchy, and so like stuff like that, I'm not comfortable. Like, oh, don't you dare talk to my customers or my employees.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't buy it. Um, that's a
So I
little
would have
scary.
used that $2 million as leverage, as saying, let me take a look under the hood. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got there and he like the place was super dirty. The landscaping on the outside was just all messed up. A lot of
And
weeds and whatnot, which just goes to show that they weren't like really in it. They
yeah,
weren't. Yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah,
man,
I don't think he did his due diligence as much as the previous owner let him, but I think there was a lot more he could have pushed for in the deal.
Mhm.
yeah. I think what it kind of came down to was like no other deals were kind of going through, and he was like, all right, this is kind of my last chance. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah.
So in the next question, what should Jim Sharp do on the first day as owner of Extrusion Technology?
I think he interviews all the leadership.
That's exactly what I put.
I think he needs to go through and talk to all the leadership, see what's going on, because it seems like the previous owner was having issue with the union. And first off, I'm completely against unions
Cut
as
him.
it is, but yeah, I think that's the first thing you have to do when you go in as an owner of a company and say, all right, I want all of department heads in my office today. We're going to do some brainstorming, some interviews, see how everything's going, and see who's going to match up well and see where people are going from here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep, that's exactly what I put. I think it would be a wise to get the inside scoop on what's going on. Maybe he's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just kidding.
Yeah. 30-day escrow on, $2 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money, yeah.
$2 million bucks. That's not too bad to buy a company for $2 million bucks.
No,
Hopefully
especially
it's in good
when they
condition.
said they were having revenues of 3.3, but that was just revenue. They're not talking about profits. So who knows what the margin is on that?
Yeah, exactly.
It said like in his like criteria thing in Exhibit 2, he wanted something between like 7 and something of revenues, but what was it? This place was only getting like 5 million in
Oh,
revenues,
really?
Yeah, I was saying
and so it was
sales.
like below his hopes.
Yeah.
It's in Exhibit 2.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says that sales was he wanted it. Initial criteria was 7 to 50 million. Manufacturing, but yeah, he was looking for something a little bit higher. So hopefully he didn't get completely by
Yeah,
burned by what's it called? By what was going on there.
he got his basic low technology. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did get that.
All right. So let's see. So it says number 4. What should his action plan be for the next 6 months? Next 12 months? What should his priorities be? I think over the next 6 months, you kind of evaluate what's going on within within that first quarter, evaluate what's going on. After that, and then that second quarter, make improvements about, who needs to stay, who needs to go. Do as much as you can to root out that the union and kind of keep going. And then from month 12 or for the next 6 months after that, I think you kind of start the process of weeding the bad people out and bringing good people in.
Yeah, I think it's a good, the first 6 months. Definitely what you said, as well as just kind of building out what extrusion technology, what their mantra is as a company, and
Mm-hmm.
and who they are and what their goals are, and kind of making those known, and working at building that culture for extrusion that might be different than alloy. I think it was called alloy, right, before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I think that's it's kind of what I put. And then thinking like long term, where you want the company to be, and breaking it down a bit. But I think most important is to learn what everyone's doing. Learn from the department managers what they're doing, what's working, what's not. Because if you just come in and make a ton of blind changes,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to infuriate a number of people. So I think it's best to try to maintain that confidence as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
but then make wise changes. And then obviously there might be some things that they need to drastically change, but typically drastic changes aren't the best way to go.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Next question. Did Jim make the right acquisition and explain acquisition? Excuse me. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Did he
good. Thanks.
make the right acquisition? I don't know.
That's
It's not an industry I would like.
With his resume, I feel
Yeah.
like he could do it. With my resume, I feel like I could really drill that into the ground and have it die there.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think like with the success that he had at GE and just the different places that he was sent to help make a better area, I think he could do a good job. Yeah, he made a risky move, but he's the right man for the job based on his resume, like you said, Philip.
Yeah. If he improves, what did it say? Like they had kind of low quality and bad at delivery times. And when you have bad delivery times, you're giving discounts and bull crap left and right to your customers just to make them slightly happy. And so if he can get that figured out and up his quality, I really feel like his profit margins will increase. That would reduce returns and giving massive discounts, and it has potential, but it's going to be hard. Is it the right acquisition? I think it was the only one, but he can make it work.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's not going to be something right off the bat he's going to be able to do. I started looking through the exhibits, and started to look at what was going on, and it does show financial projections and things, and it looks over from what he's trying to do. He's going to be making some pretty halfway decent money here in the next little while, if he keeps working hard at it.
Yeah.
Or is that the financial performance?
Yeah, the financial it's let's see, it's page
Balance sheet.
25. Page 25.
Oh, 25. I'm at the top of it then.
Yeah, no, I'm on page 25.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's showing his different margins, different things. So if his projections are right, because he buys at 87, and he's looking, at 88 through 93, by the end of 93, he's, at least he's in a company that's, already, has a decent net income, but it's still not quite where it should be. So the thing is, you go through and start reinvesting that money back into the company, I think you're going to be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't, go bad on his debt.
That's just the thing, exactly.
Yeah, he's taking out some decent debt.
$2 million ain't a joke.
Yeah.
Small loan of $1 million.
And he had $150,000 that he was planning on living on during that time until he bought his company.
At least he had the capital, right? At least he had something to hold himself down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, my father-in-law did that when he bought his own company for the first time. He worked for free for like 6 months, and now he owns his own big shipping and logistics company. But yeah, what's that called? Not Swequity or something.
Yeah,
Sweat
equity. Yeah. You said he worked for he didn't pay himself.
He didn't pay himself for like 6 months.
Dang.
And I talk to him all the time about it. It's just crazy what owners that go into that kind of stuff do. And that's you need like $150,000 just to pay things. They downsized their home. That was smart. He really kind of dove in head first. I give the guy credit for that.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's it's pretty crazy, pretty common, entrepreneurs starting their businesses unless they take on venture capital to where they can pay themselves a small salary. A lot of times they do that. That's why you gotta have some capital before you just venture out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
All right.
Are there any other? There was another question I think we were supposed to review.
Was there?
Did he make the right acquisition? We went over that. I personally think so, and I gave my reason. We went over the 6 and 12 months.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that was basically about it. But yeah, the acquisition, I think, I think if he can get it out of where it was, and I think in all honesty, what's really going to help is, as much as some people are very for them, I'm very against unions. So I just think if you can root that out, that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
Unions tear up culture. They're
Oh
so
my gosh,
bad.
it's so awful.
Yeah.
That's why it's great to live, the Southwest, not quite towards California. I guess we're in the Northwest right now, but right to work state's really good thing.
Yeah, once you go east, you get unions left and right.
Well, California, you hit either the coast.
California too, yeah.
In Oregon, you still can't even pump your own gas because of unions, man. Like,
That's
come
because
on.
of unions?
That's because of unions, man. That's a union job, is pumping gas.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend back in high school who was from Oregon, and she said that you can't even pump your own gas because it's a union job. It's a union. Yeah, it's like I said.
I served my mission in Oregon.
That's right. You can't pump your own gas, right? You legally can't pump your own gas.
Yeah, I've done it before just out of habit, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm sure tons of people do when they go there, like out of town, But yeah, no, they have people that come out and pump it for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not supposed to.
Yeah. Exactly. Unions, man. My little brother worked for a grocery store through high school, and they always asked him to, and we're from Arizona, and they asked him if he wanted to be part of the union, but you don't have to. If you're going to be if you're going to be in Arizona in a right to work state, there's no point in being part of a union because it's just dues that aren't going to do anything for you. It's a losing investment.
That's funny.
Anyways.
Well, it's been real.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and stop this here.